Take this one in your face, motherfucker!
Funny shit. Well, William Wagner Jr. here, also known as son of Billy Wagner, also known as Scarecrow, also known as the Horse Wolf, also known as the Arctic Wolf, also known as the Arctic Boogeyman, and I've been called propylhexadrine, which is, if you ever had the Benzodrex inhaler, the rumor is you can crack open that thing and take out the little piece of cotton, and you make yourself a piping hot thing of tea, and you dip that cotton thing on the inside in your tea for about 20 minutes and drink it, and you don't even need an Adderall prescription. Which I don't do any of that shit, but I did try that in the past. It's similar to the Vicks inhaler, where you have a stuffy nose and you go and it clears it, but the Vicks one is just menthol bullshit. The Benzodrex is the one you gotta get. It's propylhexadrine, which was one of my names, as I said. Anyway, I'm cracking a few nips, as I always do. Yesterday, too, I was cracking some, and it came across my desk. Fucking Anne Heche checked out. Now, I think everyone knows, a few days ago, she was driving around, It's debatable whether she was drunk or she was, on pills or whatever, and she cracked into a garage, and then, it was kind of like a minor thing. She probably only took out, a chunk of the garage, but she was able to back out, and she flew down the rest of the street, and ba-boom, boom, boom, bang, right in through someone's living room. Now, ain't that a surprise? So she didn't kill the woman inside, had her couple of pets, dogs, cats, whatever. And Anne Heche came flying through and blew the house up. It exploded, and then she was charred up a bit, and they had to take her to the hospital. And I guess for the last 4 or 5 days, she'd been in a critical condition. But as we know, yesterday she checked out. So, and who is Anne Heche? I mean, a lot of you younger people don't even know who the fuck she is, and a lot of us are a little bit older, remember her, but, it's not much of an effect. I mean, she was, what? She was a manly-looking girl. I think she first burst on the scene in, that movie Milk Money. She was like a smaller role, but Melanie Griffith was in it. Now when I start saying this, people are like, who the fuck are these? What are you saying? This was in early 90s. Melanie Griffith played a hooker. The little kids in the neighborhood were jacking off to her. She was, I guess, hooking in the neighborhood or whatever. And the kids would peep out the window and be like, and then they went and talked to her and befriended her. And they tried to, hook her up with one of the dads or try to save her, like Pretty Woman. It was like a rip-off Pretty Woman type thing, but a twisted version with children. But yeah, so she was in that. Then she was in Donnie Brasco, if anyone remembers. It was like she was the wife of Donnie Brasco. But still, even with all the makeup and shit, you couldn't really hide her features, nobody liked this girl. It was, at the time, I was, jacking off left to everybody. You would have, Reese Witherspoon and fucking all these fucking girls. I mean, Katie Holmes came in a little bit later. Fucking, Jennifer Love Hewitt, who ended up a fat, cellulite-ridden animal. About 10 years ago, they had those bikini pictures of her. Ugh. But back then, yeah, she had those big tits and nice ass. So these were the girls. Oh, and even Sarah Michelle Gellar at the time, whacking my bag. Now, Anne Heche didn't really figure into this. They tried to do the old, Anne Heche is a star now. Probably because Weinstein slipped his noodle in her, so she probably abided. And they try to make you think Anne Heche was a thing. Well, first of all, she was already like 30 years old when she came around, really, when she was really in Donnie Brasco and shit. And she looked 53, which was what she was when she just checked into the fucking house with the fucking car. So she already looked 53 back then. She had a boyish look to her, which to me, like, a boyish charm's all right. And it's like some, like, girl who's like an athlete type one, plays sports, has the tomboy look. I jacked off to a few of them, and I even wanted to fuck a few back in the day. But Anne Heche was over the top, like, man. It's like she was too manly, definitely. And then what else happened to her? Oh yeah, Ellen DeGeneres was licking her beaver there for a while, because I guess Anne Heche was bisexual or something, which is cool. Whatever, lesbians, bisexuals, it's all good. So she was fucking Ellen DeGeneres for a couple years, and people were like, oh, she's a fucking lesbian, but like I guess she really wasn't, because she ended up like mostly with men after that. I don't know why, and what man would want to fuck that. But the whole thing is, I guess the movie 6 Days, 7 Nights, and one with Harrison Ford. Nobody remembers it, and the fact that I just brought it up, everyone probably just shut this off, because what are you talking about, But yeah, I guess I just remember this as a thing back then. In 6 Days, 7 Nights on the set, they said that she had a mental nervous, like, breakdown or some shit. They said she was psychotic and tough to work with and shit. And it makes kind of sense because she's from Ohio. And first of all, people from Ohio are just stupid, firstly. And they're lazy because when the pioneer days were around, I mean, people were trying to go out to Colorado, to California. They were like settle in the country. And anyone who just stopped in Ohio, it was only like 300 miles inland, you knew they were like lazy people. They're like, ah, fuck this, we're not going any further. So they have no drive, no willpower. And I've been through Ohio, and everyone I met was a dummy. They were all dummies. In fact, the only smart person from Ohio that I know is this comedian Ray DeVito, Ray DeVito, who's from Ohio. He's pretty smart. He's got an MBA. And he went to a pretty good school. I forget what it is at the moment, but it wasn't like a shithole like Kent State. Like, that's a retard school. He went, shut this fucking dog won't shut the fuck up back there. You shut your fucking mouth. Shut your fucking mouth while I'm talking. But anyway, yeah, so he got an MBA, this guy Ray DeVito. I'm a little bit friendly with him. I'll text him here and there on DMs and shit. I listen to his podcast, Rock Bottom by Ray DeVito, formerly the G-Hole. Just look up Ray DeVito. Like, he gets into a lot of shit, like, not his own fault. Like, he just, like, walks in and everything goes wrong all the time for the guy. So it makes for a pretty interesting listen. And he's probably the smartest man in Ohio, because I've never met a smart person from there. And that's Anne Heche for you. She's a dummy. She was a Looney Tune from all those movie set things that they said she was a fucking psychopath. She was eating beaver, which is good, I guess. I don't mind that. I'll eat beaver. But the thing is, I never jacked off to her because, like I said, she just didn't have that jack ability. Like that jack, like I would just jack off to, like I probably at that time frame, Reese Witherspoon, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and Katie Holmes, I probably masturbated to them about 1,320 times. Not even kidding. And I just bring it up because that's what I do. I jerk off. And anyone who knows me knows that's what I do. And I only take in really good-looking ones for that action. And Anne Heche didn't ever cut it. So anyway, I guess, I wanted to do a tribute to her just because even though I don't care anything about her whatsoever, like, just remembering Anne Heche will bring you back to when she was around. Like, like that movie Seven was out, fucking The Usual Suspects, which I didn't even really like, but everyone else did. All those movies that we adored. Even Fight Club came out probably towards the end of that era in 99. I can't go. A Simple Plan was good. There was just a lot of good movies and a lot of good times trying to fuck all the whores back then, and jerk off a lot to all the sluts on the movie screen. So just her dying makes you remember those days. So I just wanted to give a nice tribute to her. She was a fucking wacko, apparently. She hopped in a car, drove right through someone's living room. They don't know if she was drunk or not. I guess they're dropping the investigation since she's pushing up daisies now. So let me just have another sip of my beverage. Because you can't go too long with these things nowadays. Because all you young people who, are just a joke. I mean, it's terrible. I know a couple of younger kids, maybe a ski mask host, this dude that I know, like he's like 27, like he's a normal, in the sense of normal, like that understands what's going on. Like all these, the younger kids, they don't even understand anything. They need to be reprogrammed. We failed them. Like people my age, and then going into the 50s, all these people had kids. They failed these kids, man. They're like so fucking neurotic and anxious, and they're taking all kinds of pills, and they get offended left and right. They think everything's about them when nothing is. Nothing's about you. Nothing's about me. Nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares. And get used to it, because that's the fucking way it is. And that's always how it's going to be. You're not caring. Nobody's caring. Stop pretending. But anyway, fuck these kids. But I was just saying, you don't know who Anne Heche is. But she exploded in a fire. She melted down. Now she's fucking in a box somewhere. Well, what's left of her. They probably cremated her because she was a natural cremation in a way. But I just wanted to say that, maybe on this special occasion, I'll go back and look through all the photos I can find of Anne Heche. Maybe when they put up enough makeup on her and showed a nice shot of her ass or something, maybe, just maybe, I'll blow a load to her in honor of her making me remember the good days. And then, next week, I will never remember her again. I don't even care. I forgot about her already. I don't even know what I did this little thing, a vlog, you want to call it. Whatever it is, I did it. I just wanted to say I appreciate that she died to make me remember. And shout out Ray DeVito, as I said. Listen to that Rock Bottom. You got, and as always, father, who's my unofficial father, Kevin Brennan, MLC podcast on YouTube and on Patreon. Definitely check it out because he'll give you the point of view that you need to hear. You young fucking whippersnapper fucks. You need to realize the ways of the world, and Kevin Brennan will show you. He's probably the funniest man on the planet, and I'm embarrassed that I'm an embarrassment of a son to him, honestly. So go check out him, and go, fuck, I don't know, fuck you, fuck me, fuck you, fuck Anne Heche.